What is going on, everybody? This is Gainz Gaming. Today we are talking about the face-to-face with the developers, the hot topics of March with a Q&A. We do have the 1960-2377 fight going on the side, just in case you guys want to watch it while I explain what is going on with this most recent update. If you like this going forward, I would be happy to find fights when I'm covering updates like this. Let me know what you guys think down below, if you enjoy that, or if you just want me to covering the overall update on the screen. So first of all, they send these out usually every month or so, maybe every month and a half, face to face with the developers, where they are reaching out to the community and asking what questions you guys have. So the first question that we are going to talk about today is, can you tell us more about the plans for merging kingdoms? And at their Vietnam meetup, they discussed future plans for consolidating low activity kingdoms. Presumably these are going to be like de-seed kingdoms that just really aren't that active. They don't have enough players to actually fight in KVK. So what their plan is to enroll a special merger story. So your kingdom will only be eligible for merging if it has completed its first season of conquest. So presumably this would actually be after KVK 3, because that technically is season of conquest, but I would assume it's probably after your first KVK 4. And if you are selected for merging, your kingdom will only have one story it can register for in its lost kingdom, which is currently King of the Nile. So that might change, but as of right now, that is what they are planning on doing. And in this gameplay, the merger story will be the same as a regular season of conquest story. But at the end of the season, there will be a merger period currently planned for around the last 5 days. During this time, your kingdom can form a team with other kingdoms participating in a merger story, even if they are in a different lost kingdom. That's pretty interesting. So they don't have to be in your KVK to actually be eligible for this merger. And at the end of the merger period, your kingdom and its teammates will be combined into a new kingdom. That's pretty crazy. So some additional notes. Merger stories will only be open if there are enough eligible kingdoms to form a matchmaking pool. If there are too many eligible kingdoms, more merger stories will be opened as needed. Your kingdom can choose to skip a merger story, but it will count as failing to sign up for a story. If a kingdom fails to find a team, or a team's active player count is still too low, the system may intervene. Merged kingdoms will also have a new kingdom number and new name separate from those of its constituent kingdoms. So, for example, I'm in Kingdom 1846. If we were to merge with another kingdom, we would no longer be Kingdom 1846. We would choose a new name, which is pretty interesting. And now, as we get down here, it actually gets I don't want to say worrisome, but it's like, I don't know if this would be really that great. So with the new kingdom map, merged kingdoms will have a new map, and on this map, all holy sites and passes will be temporarily closed, gradually unlocking as the kingdom chronicles progress. All alliance fortresses, flags, and resource centers will be removed, and all resources will be refunded. That honestly sucks, because that means you have to rebuild your entire kingdom from scratch. So basically, like, if you're looking at a map, let me just close out of this real quick. So if you're looking at a map and you see this resource pit right here, the Alliance Cropland, this is giving your territory earnings. So when you are looking at your alliance and you're collecting your territory earnings, this is where it's coming from, by having a flag that is covering this territory. And this is also going to give your alliance resources to build flags and build forts. So you're going to start with 0, basically from scratch, like it's day 1 in the kingdom, and you have to rebuild everything. That honestly kind of sucks. I mean, I'm sure in the long run it's worth it, but that seems like it's going to be a lot of work in order to actually be able to, be able to rebuild your entire kingdom essentially from scratch. So let's continue here. During the merger period, certain kingdom-wide ranking events, i.e. the Mightiest Governor, will be paused. Merged kingdoms will not be able to sign up for KVK for 2 weeks after the merging, which is probably good because they are going to be rebuilding literally everything. But new events will be launched in the merged kingdoms to help them quickly rebuild. So it'll be interesting to see what that exactly looks like to help them rebuild faster, because like I said, that's going to be a huge overhaul trying to rebuild an entire kingdom in 2 weeks for your next KVK. And obviously you can do skips, but that sounds like it's going to be a lot of work. So I'm sure they're going to give us more information on this, but let's go on to the next section here. I realize I am able to actually change what the troops look like, so I did change it over to having 2377 be blue, so it's easier to kind of tell what side is what when you're watching this side, if you are watching this side. Again, let me know if you guys like this. If not, I will not do it again. But again, if you do like it, let me know and I will continue doing this on future updates. So the next section here, what new game modes are you planning on adding? We are currently developing a new game mode tentatively called Supreme Strife. And in this game mode, the top Season of Conquest governors will be able to form cross-kingdom teams battling other teams for control of holy sites on a brand new map. This game mode is tentatively scheduled for every weekend. Now, that sounds cool, but just wait here. Like KvK battles, combat in this game mode can result in your units being severely wounded or killed. At the end of the match, however, you'll be refunded a large portion of your dead units and resources / speedups for healing severely wounded units. Now, I really do not like that, because just wait. Besides regular item rewards, members of the champion team will receive a rare Lunatime title that they can display. So what this means is that you're going to be spending speedups and resources and troops, get some of them back, but you're going to be spending those for a limited time title that you can display on your account, and presumably some, basic rewards for winning or losing the event. That does not sound like a good trade-off to me, because you are killing your troops, you are spending resources, you're spending time, you're spending your speed ups, you're doing a lot, and you're not getting a whole lot back. We'll have to see what the rewards look like, because if they're good, maybe it'll be worth it, but just looking at this, it looks like it's not going to be a very popular event. Similar to Champions of Olympia, just not really a popular event. Now here, armament transmutation is too difficult. Do you have any plans to optimize the system? Our original plan was to implement an armament fusion system. And the way this would work is that if armament B has a valuable attribute of cav attack of 3.2%, you can fuse it with armament A with a 50% chance to replace one armament A's less valuable stats like gold gathering speed with the valuable attribute. Now that sounds great, and they said that their hope is that this would increase the value of armaments with only one good attribute, as they could be used to gradually improve your other armaments, which in turn would make armament events and chests more rewarding. However, we encountered a number of problems in the design stage. Currently, it is relatively easy to obtain an armament with a single 2.5% or even over 3% attribute. The max attribute bonus is 3.5. If this armament fusion system is launched, the gap between armament attributes will rapidly close. Now, a lot of people will say this is a good thing. They want that gap to close, and many governors will be able to very quickly max out their armaments. We aren't sure how receptive governors will be in such a balance shifting change. I feel like this is the exact opposite of what players want. I feel like people want things to be balanced. People want the armament system to be more balanced. They don't want it to be like, oh yeah, whales have way better armaments than you do, so we don't want to make it more even. I really don't like how they worded this, because I feel like a majority of players would be like, well, no, we want it to be more balanced. We don't want people to have like super good armaments and then everyone else have just decent or bad armaments. Like, that doesn't make the game more fun. Having it more balanced would make it more fun, because the armament system can make the game really unbalanced. And going on, transmutation stones, transmutation crystals, and this new armament fusion feature would all be systems in service of armament attributes, and the coexistence of all these in separate systems run the risk of making things very overcomplicated. Now that I understand, you don't want it to be overcomplicated, but at the same time you want it to be more balanced, and right now the armament system is not balanced. So due to these issues, we have yet to determine a final plan or launch time for the armament fusion system. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that down below. And then, what are your plans for improving quality of life in the future? They said that this is going to be divided into 2 different levels, systems and events. On the system level, we want to reduce the burden of everyday activities. I think that's great. For example, we are currently considering adding the ability to automatically attack barbarian troops and search for barbarian forts while you are logged in. That is phenomenal. That is exactly what we want to see. People have been asking for a barbarian fort search button for years. Basically, since I started playing the game is when people started asking for that, and we haven't gotten it. So I think that's going to be huge. I think that's going to be really nice. However, they are going to have to look into what does botting look like with that, because obviously people are going to try to cheat the system and start botting with it, which I know they don't want. So it'll be interesting to see what comes with that. And on the event level, our priority is to optimize the basic experience of participating in events, adding a one-click button to claim all event rewards. Yes, please. Because when I do events on my farm accounts, and I have to go click 40 buttons on every single farm account, that is so tedious and that is so annoying. I don't want to have to do that. And I think this is fantastic because there are other times where you might forget to collect all your rewards and then they just go away and you can't get them. That's happened to me as well. So they're also planning on optimizing specific events based on community feedback like Alliance Mobilization, Golden Kingdom, etc. I think this is about the rewards for the amount of time and effort you have to put into those events, which Golden Kingdom, the rewards are just not there. Alliance Mobilization, they're great, but it's expensive. It is expensive to beat Alliance Mobilization and get all 18 rewards. It is expensive. So I hope that they can fix that and add some more free-to-play level quests that you can get that aren't like 85 points, because it just isn't going to get you to level 18. So hopefully they'll make some good changes to that. Acquiring new armaments in Season 2 is unrewarding. A lot of armaments seem useless until Season of Conquest. Now, this is true. There are a lot of armaments that are only usable in Season of Conquest, like for smite damage, for example. That's only usable in Season of Conquest. So the way they're going to fix this actually is planning on releasing certain Season of Conquest commanders prior to Season 2, while also adjusting the skills of these commanders to better fit the combat environment of Season 2. Because obviously fighting in Season of Conquest and fighting in Season 2 is just not the same whatsoever. So I don't know what commanders they're going to bring to Season 2, because obviously you don't want to bring like Nevsky to Season 2 or Luce, like that's gonna break Season 2. So I think it's gonna be interesting. Let me know what you guys think down below. I feel like they're probably going to add in like some of the very, very old Season of Conquest commanders, maybe even like Guan level. I don't really know what to expect with that, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I think that'll be interesting. And next here, high damage makes KVK battles way too fast. Well, it's a good thing we're actually watching the 1960-23-77 fight, because that is exactly what we're talking about here. The addition of new commanders and equipment has caused combat to deviate from our original design. As such, we are currently planning on making the following adjustments. Now, again, this is about the new troops and spending a ton of resources, so just having to go through so many troops and so many resources every single KVK. So in regards to overly high damage causing battles to be too fast, we are currently calculating in-game damage statistics. Based on these calculations, we are trying to optimize the pace of KVK battles by adjusting KVK buffs and crystal technologies. So I don't know if that's going to mean that they are going to make crystal technology not as strong, or if they are going to change what KVK buffs come and go, or add in new crystal technologies to make fighting a little bit less severe. What I mean by that is just less damage taken by fighting, because obviously the amount of resources and speed ups you have to fight in Season of Conquest now is just so absurd. Like, I have to run 6 farm accounts and I still can barely afford the cost of fighting in an Imperium KVK. So it's getting to the point where it's too much. They need to make some changes, which they have been. And in regards to excessive resource requirements, we have already launched a feature that refunds healing resources at the end of KVK, which is fantastic. We are also currently adding a recurring event where you can trade building and research speedups for healing speedups. Guys, we did it. We did it. I cannot believe they're finally letting us trade research speedups for healing speedups. That is absolutely huge. I think that is going to be insane. Probably going to be the same event we have with the building speedups going to training. Most likely going to be research going to healing. So pretty much the same principle, I would assume. I feel like that's a safe assumption. Now, number 7 is just about the Kingdom Buggle messages, which is just annoying. They're going to fix this in the next update, and that's just like the thing that goes across the top of the screen. So they're gonna fix that in the next update. Will you be adding new accessories for combo and smite damage commanders? You're currently in the design process, so there'll be more info here soon. Can you add the ability to have a separate equipment loadout for Canyon game modes? It is very tedious to have manually switch my equipment every single time. This will be updated in the next update, which is great. I'm excited for that. Will you continue to optimize the automatic title appointment feature? We're delighted to see how well received the automatic title appointment feature has been. We've also received a ton of helpful suggestions how to improve it further. Features that we plan on adding to include is the ability to give up titles early, which is great. more options for title durations, and the ability to set a City Hall requirements level for applications and more, which I think is fantastic. I think those are all going to be really good updates to add in to the title feature. Kingdom and alliance management is too much of a pain. Will you be adding features to reduce the burden? Due to the wide variety of kingdom and alliance management styles, our previous optimizations have focused on universal issues such as automatic tile appointment and alliance pass list, which is great. I love the alliance pass list. That makes it so easy to get in and out of the alliance. As we continue to discuss the issues with the community, however, we've come to the conclusion that our quality of life improvements thus far have been enough, which I agree. Their quality of life updates have been fantastic. So, it'll be interesting to see what else we get with that in the future. That rally just got absolutely obliterated if you guys were watching that on the screen. But some of the highlights of this update I think are going to be the biggest benefit are the high damage makes KVK battles way too fast. Question 6. Being able to trade in research speedups for healing speedups is something we've been asking for many, many years. So having that coming into the game is just so insanely huge. I can't even explain it. The other one that I really like is the quality of life in the future. I think anything that's quality of life improvement is going to be a good thing. Being able to automatically attack barbarian troops, like being able to do that on my farm accounts, is going to be so good. And then additionally, being able to search for barbarian forts while you're logged in, that is insane. That is insanely huge. So I think those are the two biggest things that are going to lead to the best updates coming forward. I don't think that there's any way that either of those things can be bad. I think overall, this is going to be a good update coming soon. Let me know what you guys think down below. And again, let me know what you guys think about showcasing some fighting on the screen as well. I think it adds a little bit of depth to the video, but if it's too distracting or if it's just annoying or you don't want to see it and you'd rather just see the overall Discord message here on the entire screen, that's what I usually do, but I feel like this just makes it more interesting. So let me know what you guys think down below if you enjoy that or if you want me to go back to my normal videos. But I appreciate you guys watching the video. I'll see you guys next time.